Artist for cinema.
Ayun, finally, pwede kong katabi itong mga kabataang kasama ko. I'm a 77-year-old kid, Kidlat kid. Pero I feel affinity with everything na narinig ko ngayon. Parang nagising na ako from isang bangungot na kay tagal-tagal na ano mangyayari dito sa mga indie efforts, initiatives. Parang sa tagal-tagal yung dominating formula films naroon pa rin. No? Pero I guess, okay, bilang isang call me an elder statesman, mas na 77-year-old kid ako. Siguro, I can't spend all my energies fighting the windmills. No? Parang marami ng magandang nangyayari and I'm here today. So, kahapon, I was in Davao. I flew there for may isang conference na part of the Sandaan celebrations. Pero mainly I was curious about yung mga regional output nila. No? And ngayon, we're hearing it from all over the 7,000 islands, depending on your count. And ang ganda narinig ko ngayon. Parang yung perfume nightmare ko, siguro kung bangungot yung katagal-tagalan kong hinihintay may mangyari. Wow, bumabango ang maybe durian. Talk of regional smells and regional treasures. Well, whatever. Basta ayan, kapapasok lang ni Teddy ko. Hi, Teddy, father of regional cinema.
Ikaw.
Hindi, pero all our, yung mga daloy namin since the 70s, parang ngayon, tama-tama, magandang timing. I-complete yung picture ng incomplete na. Naalala ko lang yung mga great. Ang dami kong incomplete nang nasa UP ako. But I think incomplete gives a picture na pwede i-complete, di ba? So, yung energies ninyo, nakikita ko talagang mukhang pagka-complete na ng grade, magiging flat 1. Hindi lang pasang-awa. Okay, wala akong prepared kasi I wasn't even sure whether I could make it to this one. Pero sabi ko, pwede ba akong i-line up lang sa last because I could react to all these energies na, wow, nagpapasigla rin sa akin. No? Alam mo, when you're, well, it's been 44 years yata na nabuo ko yung unang indie film ko. They're celebrating 100 years of Philippine cinema, pero I realized itong 44 years na siguro I was not always in the forefront makibaka in terms of eto na, mga indie sugod, mga kapatid. But by doing yung mga trabaho ko, they were siguro nakakatan mo ng konting bini. And I'm happy to be here today with mga ghosts from the past. Yan sila Jan and Shirin. Si Yam, my gosh, my OJT from at si Teng. And meeting maybe I've met you before, pero I still feel close to you. Ang mga, I took down just some little notes para may mga baka pwede kong mga naking glasses. Okay, audience development seems to be one of the glasses. Okay, yung audience development has been mula pa nung first time ako dumating dito. I used to, kinakalat-kat ko yung 16mm projector ko everywhere. But the only way to show my films, there's no way to show it even if a Cineplex would be willing to show it, post 35mm projectors nila. So with my 16mm projector, I would go sa mga communities, dun sa villages where I shot, sa mga art galleries. And I never thought of it anything as heroic. No? You're doing your own thing. So kung naglalagari ako, dala ko yung 16mm roll ko, not in SM or any of those malls, pero going from one gallery to another festival. Parang normal lang yan. It's just like, kung woodcarver ka, nakakit ka sa bundok, magsisibak ka ng kahoy para tapos dadalhin mo dun sa uumpisan mong pag-carve. No? So it's just parang natural flow. Ngayon we're all talking about mga separate distinctions, audience development, making films sustainable, interacting with institutions, which is a reality na I never thought about. Kasi palaging may nasasakyan yung films ko na may magpapalabas dito or lang. However small the audiences, minsan malaking audience, but of course, I think I never joined yung mentality na, wow, sana makaroon ako ng 1-week booking sa Cineplex. No? Alam kong reality na yan, why would they show a Kidlat Tahimik film kung mga 40 o 50 lang tao pwede mo, whereas if you show your Star Wars or Men in Black, full house, laki ng kita, and since that's the purpose of the Cineplexes, why even dream of getting into that ball game, no? Siyempre, importante yung size ng audience, pero I think ang nangyayari dito, and I can hear it from lahat ng mga presentations na yan, is that audience development is really getting an awareness ng mga audience, no? Na, huy, meron pang ibang menu dito na hindi lang McDo films, no? I call them McDo films because when you take a burger somewhere, whether it's in Tokyo or Quezon City or in Davao, alam mo, yun ang lalabas. No? The formula will give you the same kind of thrill or high. Mas sinasadali lang, pero mamaya gutom ka ulit. Pero this kind of fast food menus is what we've been being fed all the years, no? Alam mo, nung natuturo ako sa UP, I had a production class, tapos sabi ko, oh, sige, mga students, 1 month, wala tayong pasok, basta pull out your video cameras, do a 5-minute, para alam po kung ano yung gusto niyong gawin. And at the end of 1 month, then happy sila, wow, palang pasok, sige. Pero after 1 month, we would get together, tignan namin kung ano mang ginawa nila. And for 6 straight semesters, 80 to 85% of the films, may saksakan, may bubugan, may rape, may kung ano-ano. It is always a good start for the semester. You hold a mirror to the kids and say, teka muna, ito lang ba mga kwentong kaya natin gawin? Ito lang ba mga interesting stories? Wala ba mga isang magandang local stories sa barangay mo? Or dun sa tribu mo? Or sa pamilya mo? Kailangan ba sensational palagi? Palagi may crashing cars, palagi may police drawing a gun, or a motel scene. So it's not the fault of our young people, kasi yun ang McDo menu na they have been fed all these years. And at least kung sa awareness nila sa semester beginning, meron na silang, oh nga pala, no? Then, ayan ang umpisa. Bigyan mo ng konting value yun. That unsensational story that is from your own little backyard. But by your skills as a storyteller, at yun naman pinag-usapan naman natin, we're not talking about your skills as a big production values provider, no? Pero as storytellers, and I consider myself maybe a storyteller, pagka sinasabi ko, direct. Anong direct? I just told my stories. I happen to tell some stories on film. Literally 60mm nung pag-umpisa ko, wala pang video noon. But moving on to audiovisuals. And siguro I can be accused of being too personal in a lot of my storytelling, pero pumapasok na yung background ko, yung kultura ko, yung neighborhood ko. And it brings us out of yung globalized story, di ba? And that's been the problem. Kung baga yung mga 85% ng mga estudyante, yun ang unang maisip na kailangan mo yung kwento, merong formula elements. They don't even know what the formula is. Basta yan ang kinakain nila mula ng bata sila. Kanina lang, I had breakfast dito sa Kidlat. There was a family there, and there was the TV. They're showing, I think, Viking blood. May isang dugong tao. There was a upuan ng bata, baby seat. Nakatalikod siya, pero yung yaya na. And the kid kept looking around and looking at all this blood and gore, no? Ayun yung, let's call it the echo chamber of our, yung paglalaki natin, no? We've been always taught, echo chamber is a word that, I don't know, it's probably lumalabas na ngayon sa one. Echo chamber means, basta lumaki tayo sa isang set of given audio, visuals, and philosophies, etc. And then, if we don't question it, para tayo natutulog sa isang cocoon, we accept that. So kung the echo chamber is buy this, buy that, bili mo to, bili mo yan, that's where we get into this consumer madness that I think we have the highest per capita malls in Manila compared to any other part in the world. No? And that can also go into ideology, kung naniniwala tayo na free enterprise capitalism is the answer, or the echo chamber says that any socialist system is ugly or bad. Naniniwala tayo doon, and natatrap tayo doon sa ganong pag-iisip. And that's how films play a major role sa buong paningin natin, our cultural taste, our cultural advocacies. We don't realize ang napakalalim ng napreso na tayo in this cocoon. No? I use the word cocoon for those of you who've seen yung mababango-bangungot. It's the major line na we have to blast out, we have to break out of our cocoon. We're sleeping in our cocoon of colonized dreams. And to break out, we have to, para we can hanapin na yung tunay na kalayaan. And that's what I hear today. I think you're creating alternative echo chambers. Kung baga sabi ni Teng, all these non-Hollywood voices are now being heard, no? And there's such a variety. We have very poetic works, we have political works, we have crazy, siguro mga namana sa akin, as crazy filmmaker. We have such a wide variety, and it makes the menu more interesting than the McDo film culture. No? Pero how do paano natin makukuha yung mga outside the circle, mga hindi pa converted? Yung mga people who just watch the ad and watch this crazy clown and then go look for that clown and buy it and separate with their money. The same way with people who nasanay na sila whenever they see a poster, may baril na nakatutok or merong or whatever, labas mo na yung pera mo. These are all the ito yung mga habits natin to flow kasama yung daloy ng echo chamber. But by changing the taste of we have to start in our regions. No? I'm sorry to say, but I mean, I'm not trying to denigrate mga taga Manila, but kawawa kayo kasi you're really stuck in the center of this the consumption echo chamber and the malls. Talagang pinapako na ng malls. Very few people will question it. Pero kayo mga vanguard ng getting these alternative views, alternative taste, local views, indigenous stories, na makita ng mga tao, maski na hindi mass audience ang makuha mo. Even if for every screening you get maybe 100 or 200 people, malaki nga, no? Para sa akin. Maski na 5% lang noon, medyo, uy, napawaw. At napag-isip. I think that's already a victory for us. And I see it now, parang nagsaswell na ito ngayon. I'm really so happy na nakarating mo dito kasi apprentice, wow, doing their own local programming. Feeling ko talaga, very fertile na ang ground yan. And siguro, Jewel, you brought this, kayo and your team, I brought this thing together. Kanina nung tinitingnan ko, sabi ko, nga pala, no, yung ang kulang sa awareness ng mga manonood ng pelikula, parang incomplete yung mga jewels. Yung mga alahas, parang kulang yung mga gems, the real gems coming from the Indies. And ngayon, yung book na narinig ko ngayon, I think it's really pinaka-start as the personal initiative. I hear it from Pam, I hear it from Keith, I know it from John and Shearing. Yung personal initiative ang una. I'm gonna clear out my garage and bahala kayo if you can come and makiping-pong tayo sa mga ideas natin. Maski na 5 lang, maybe next week, 10, maybe next month, 20 mga papasok. But that personal initiative is the start. Ngayon, we have to connect with yung institutional places that, or institutions that deal with this, no? Suddenly we have to face censors. You know, every time my film is sent out, I get this, dati I used to have to send a 16mm reel, no? Ngayon, pwede mo na padala sa digital file or what. Pero pagka dumadaan sa FedEx or sa DHL, they require you now to have all these forms from OMB and from this Board of Censors. I said, 40 years ago, I didn't have to deal with this. Pero it's part of the game. And sige, I think it's good na technicalities and mga legalities na pag-uusapan niya. No? Pero let's stick to the main thing. I think yung content, yung local content, ang binibigyan natin ng sigla at lakas by the combined initiatives in this room. No? Okay, ako, you probably all heard or have even visited yung Ililika artist watering hole. No? By the way, Ili, not Ili, Ili is the word for village. I think it's sa Cordilleras, pati sa Bisaya yata, Ili, or sa Ilocos. Anyway, it means village and Lika, mga creative village, no? Ang buong concept doon was basically place for artist energies to gather. And yung isa pang purpose ng Ililika is to provide alternative livelihoods rin for artists. So may mga kiosk doon na mga cafe, mga food places, mga selling t-shirts na gawa. So it's, kasi for most artists, ang tagal before you can sell a painting, before you can get something back from your film. Pero in between, kung meron kang konting pampakain sa anak mo. So we had this artist village. Pero naumpisa mo yung 10 years ago, unti-unting nag-build. I don't believe in getting loans. Basta kung stop cooperation, parang indie film. Pagka may pera, sige tuloy. Pagka walang pera, you beg, steal, or borrow your next cup of gasoline. Ganun yung ginawa ko. As a matter of fact, yung architecture, or siguro most people will call it non-architecture in the formal sense of the word, kapa-kapa yung aking paggawa ng mga structures. It's like my films, walang script. I'm one of the people who, except for one film, all my films have been done without a formal script. Kinakapa mo lang and somehow, alam mo yung beginning, middle, and end. And nangyayari. I think ang main, pag frame ko yung mga energies nyo, I think because also that, wala kayong script, how you're going to do your advocacy, your anong shape and form ng mga organizations nyo. Pero alam nyo yung gusto nyo puntahan, alam nyo yung umpisa nyo yung sariling sikap nyo at sariling passion. And along the way, may cosmic trust kayo na things are going to fall on the way, funders will show up, and if not, the energy of your close circle will be the ones to make up for the lack of funds. Kaya, for now, it seems like there's already an infrastructure in place, di ba? And I think Jewel, by pulling these people together, I think, importante yung pag-network ninyo, no? Napansin ko, okay, yung sa last, 2 years ago sa Berlin Festival, yung film ko about Magellan's Slave na 35 years kong ginagawa and finally made it to the screens. It won what they call the Caligari Prize. No? It's not for any cinematic genius or a wow film. It was a distribution package. It's an organization of critics and small cinema owners and mga people like you, mga collectives. Na, by giving a prize to a film na mahihirapan ma-distribute, they would be able to at least have projection prints available. They could subtitle the films into German. They could program it if they would be able to invite the filmmaker to talk about the film, they could have a tour. So it was a one way of counteracting the mainstream system na once before the Hollywood film is made, nakatutok na yung mga marketers, yung mga distribution facilities, so almost automatic na pagka nagawa na. diretso na sa restaurant yung mga pre- pre-made hamburgers, you know, in some central factory. Itong klaseng it's a mentality that at least shows over the years na nagsama-sama na rin sila. And I think that's what's happening now. So, kung magkaroon man ng counting programming that let's say some Cordillera filmmakers put together, and then suddenly they can approach Teng or Keith about, diba, here's a collection of films made like the way you make films, and see if it's worth including in your program. So, in this way, dumadami yung mga audience natin. Pero it's not, again, just increasing the audience. I think we have to think one thing now. How do we convince yung mga potential na manonood na it's worth to try a durian laing coming from Davao by walking away from the McDo. Or you have a sashimi mixed with some Bicol Express to try these new things. Okay, nabanggit yung FDCP, no? Let me say something. Sorry, if I knew that may mga PowerPoint. I'm actually not a PowerPoint person, but I could have shown some pictures of Ililica, yung Cinematheque na I built within this Ililica complex, no? Actually, ang nangyari nun was that FDCP was somewhere in another part of town. They were very central, pero walang nanonood. They were at near Mount Cloud bookstore. And they were looking for a new venue. And at the time, sabi ko, why not? I happen to be a filmmaker, so why not build a little venue na we could let FDCP take over and do their programming. But I also realized that FDCP has a certain kind of Manila kind of programming, even if it's trying to help indies. Pero I decided I'm going to try to get sige, you can rent the place, pero we want to have our own community films 3 or 4 times of the year, no? So this kind of combination becomes a way to, kasi hindi ko na kaya, I'm at 7-7, I can't do programming for 365 days of the week. I envy all of you guys who can open up your garages or open up a faraway city to open up. So in this kind of, there's also some kind of compromise involved, no? Pero ang importante, malakas yung advocacy mo, or let's say as a filmmaker, yung duwende mo, no? Mayroong gustong itulak yun. We all have a little duwende in all of us that is the creative force of our films, no? Maybe I can make a metaphor and stretch it also to this na in dealing with outside institutions to get our films on the tables of more people. We have to do get all these kindred souls to set aside a few days and coming from all over. I mean, I was with Dax and Jay in Davao yesterday. Bakit ano yung pinaglalaban natin, no? We may have differences in the details of yung mga ginagawa natin, but I think in the end, we want the unique voices of our unique cultures in our unique corners of the islands to be heard, no? So let me just show you a little visual here, which I think might summarize it might summarize kung ano yung um, pinaglalaban natin. So let me go to a... okay, recently I've been concentrating on certain visuals that dramatize the need for the local story to come out. At ang comparison ko always is that yung mga kabataan natin, hindi nila narinig mga local stories, mga local na bayani, mga local dignified stands of people in our far-off regions. Kasi they get an overdose of Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, yung mga superheroes ng Marvel. At wala nang space for the local storytelling. And if we consider our independent filmmaking as mainly a storytelling process, diba? Sinashare natin yung mga maliliit na stories. Maliit in quotation marks. They can be really the biggest stories, but in terms of mainstream, hindi sila pinapansin. So, let me introduce you to the Goddess of the Wind from Ifugao, no? Ang pangalan niya si Inabian. Inabian is supposed to be a weaver. Nagwi-weave siya ng siguro bahag with a backstrap loom. Alam niyo yung backstrap loom na may belt ka sa likod na ini-stretch yung mga strings para maka-shuttle ka. No? And she was doing her backstrap loom weaving, and the gods decided to test her. And so they played around with her and they started blowing around. Pero dahil yung backstrap niya nakatali, para itong safety belt sa kotse, she survived the test, no? So na-impress ng mga gods, sabi, wow, okay, Inabian, from now on, ikaw na ang goddess of the winds. So ngayon, pagka may bagyo, may typhoon na papuntang Ifugao, they all invoke, Inabian, Inabian, sana change the direction of the typhoon, ginahin mo yung mga winds, spare our village. And this is, so she's some kind of a superhero, no? She defends the village from typhoons. But I would like to expand her more into somebody who also defends her local culture, no? Okay, so now I'm a storyteller. And sa storytelling ko, let me introduce a little conflict. And ang conflict niyan is yung Hollywood Goddess of the Winds. Okay, we all know this, a major icon. And, ayan, pero walang subways doon sa Ifugao. Di ba, yun ang pinanggalingan ng wind. So, why don't we combine the stories at, eto na, labanan ng kultura. Oh, yan. So our goddess of the wind is defending her local culture from the excesses of Hollywood. At least dyan, Hollywood, may overdose na kami ng mga kwento mo. We have too many of your Harvey Weinstein stories. You have to help our... And maybe this is what we have to do with all these superheroes, no? Kasi mga kabataan, yan lang nakikita nila. They only hear about the superwoman and the sexy goddesses of Hollywood. And at least, maybe we cannot eliminate from the screens. We cannot, unless we dynamite all the SM cineplexes. Kasi they will only show the kinds of films that propagate that echo chamber. But we're trying to bring in a new echo chamber. Maybe we can bring to the forefront, not to the forefront, but at least we can bring to the consciousness of a lot of people more and more the stories that deserve to be told. The regional stories, the mga indigenous tales, mga yes, even the local people who gave dignity to the region. And we have to stop being trapped by this globalized collection of super beings just because they make money for the producer. So I'd like to leave you with this image kasi I think this is the nasa center ito ng pinaglalabanan natin lahat. No? Not necessarily a conflict. I mean, let me also be clear. I don't want to disparage Marilyn Monroe. I think she was a victim also of the Harvey Weinstein type of filmmaking. Pero just as a combination ng a battle for the survival of images, the survival of cultural icons, the survival of our old ways of thinking. This is an important venue, itong gathering natin ngayon, para we have more of our local heroes and heroines to dominate our stories. Ako, I often speak not only with mga filmmakers, mga painters, mga writers, and it's the same thing. We're all storytellers, and if we're more inspired by stories like Inabian and give them a chance, no? I think cinema is incomplete. We may not be able to fill up all those screens with what we want, pero pagka meron ng alternative screens where the choice is complete, I think maski na maliit na ang audiences, panalo na tayo. So, mabuhay ang ACIC, mabuhay ang mga initiative niyo lahat. Mabuhay ang mga kwento ng mga regions natin. Salamat po.
Thank you. Can we invite the previous speakers in front for a short, hopefully short, plenary discussion?